people maybe will get the idea that this is really about the Daodejing, whereas it's actually not. It's the Daodejing is just an alibi for us to.
It is, yeah. But I guess what I was thinking was you know, the book itself is kind of devoid of context, and so
Mm,
it's all about the the principle. Uh, it's rather than it is very mysterious. I love that about it, and I want people to understand that.
mm,
My thinking was that by helping people understand that it's this mysterious
mm,
text that's devoid of context
yeah.
up front, that actually then I was hoping it would remove any fear of
Mm.
them needing to know the text.
How do you see this mystery, Noel? It's, the fact that Dao De Jing is such a mysterious text, and you as an agile practitioner, uh,
Mm.
I wonder how do I have to see this? If I'm your client, and you come to me and you say, "I love the mystery," I'm not so sure I will hire you. Explain this to me, Noel.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's about, for me, what I love about it is that there's this unknowable element. And
Mm,
I think actually that's really important for people to understand in the work that we do, because the outcomes and what people seek are often unknowable. And so what we want to kind of impart is not, knowledge and rules and this is how you do things, but actually we want to provide hints,
mm.
and we want to provide them with we want to take them in a direction that helps them to develop an intuitive grasp of actually how to be part of this thing.
It could be translated as much as a certain way
Yeah.
as the way.
Hmm.
Basically Dao is just way,
Hmm.
and you can go in many directions, and particularly the first few of the chapters of these texts point at the same thing.
Hmm.
There's a lots of a whole series of concepts and ideas that passes in the first few lines of the, let's say, first chapters, and
Hmm.
they're often opposites,
Hmm.
and it is just shown that even if they're opposites, they cannot exist without one another, and they exist within one another, and ceasing to be so certain of everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're aware of something's presence and
yeah,
its movement around you.
mm,
And then once you're aware of it, then you can start to move in harmony with it. There is a lot of interpretation that in some of these texts. Actually, I've read one that really triggered me. It really frustrated me because the person translating it was putting so much of their own voice into it, and really trying to make it much more directive. And this is what it means.
mm,
And actually, for me, that in our practice, is what we do is helping people to understand, why it might be useful to be more agile and
mm.
what agile principles and values are. They are a sentiment. They are, it's a loose movement, if you like, as opposed to strict rules. And I think that's so much more important. What I hope that this encourages us to do as well is to be less explicit about how and what and why, and actually, there's more of a general sentiment, that set these values and principles that we just need to embrace, more than, absolutely more than telling people what to do and how to do it.
By embracing these principles, we sort of unembrace them. Uh, well, it is often jokingly said that agile coaches don't even know what they do, yeah.
Mm.
And that might be just it. Huh? And the whole Daodejing is also a very systemic thing. You know, it's about systems, and in these systems, a whole lot of phenomena occur, and we try to first see them ourselves by
Mm-hmm.
by observing the system in a certain way. And that's the first thing we do. I think that we observe the system. And then in the Tao Te Ching, it says the moment you point down the conclusions of your observations into words, yeah, you're probably going to lose the magical power of observation. And because by naming them, and it says so much in the first chapter, by the mere fact of naming something, people will want to know what is it, and people want
Mm-hmm.
guide with a bulleted list and features and solutions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The immediate reflection is we have a problem. The problem is so and so and so and so and so and so, and then we will have a solution, and the solution
Mm-hmm.
will be this and this and this and this and this, and then we have metrics, and the metrics will show us the data that we need for reporting. In the system.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the awareness that you talk about, and the acceptance of things as they are, I think, is also another really important element. So it's the awareness and the acceptance, um, as opposed to being driven by the need to change something. This is offers us a different stance, a mysterious, shadowy place, which you're right, a lot of people don't like. That's uncomfortable for them.
It's very
But
uncomfortable.
but I think the best experiences that I've had in my career have been where there is a lot of mystery and people are aware of it, and they're happy to go along with it in order to find out more.
It's interesting because when you say it like that, it looks as if we have a dualism, an either or. Yeah? And I think this is exactly the interesting thing of Tao Te Ching, that it shows us that even this isn't. Because
Mm.
the change, we don't need the drive to change because the change is the as is. We are
Mm-hmm.
actually changing. Yeah. The change, the whole process of change and transformation is part of the as is.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is never an is. There is no as is. There is only flow, and we could say process. I prefer the word flow.